Welcome back. We're here with Gary Quackenbush, and we're talking about how you can protect your assets. Gary is a financial solutions attorney, and we've talked about a lot of different things. Where are we going from here, Gary?
Okay.
How else can we protect ourselves?
And we have been kind of all over the place. One thing that I find a lot is I talk to people about insurance, and even if I'm setting up like a will or a trust or a corporation, and we always kind of venture into the topic of insurance. Mm-hmm. And one great way to protect assets I think people don't look at enough is insurance. And so, for example, if somebody has a home, like I talked to a guy the other day, and he has a home's worth about $500,000, so he insures it up to $500,000. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, great. How much insurance do you have on your car? He says, well, I've just got $60,000 of coverage on my car. So the problem that happens with that is you get guys like, attorneys, oh my gosh, that might, so let's say you had a car accident. Get a car accident, ran over somebody, and I know I'm kind of detached, but you run over somebody and there's damages that might be.
But you're alive, but somebody else is dead now.
No, not dead, just injured. So you injure somebody and they have a claim that might exceed your insurance policy. So if you have $60,000 of insurance on your car, which is more than the minimum, but it's still not a lot. So the damages go over 60, maybe it's 80 or 90 or 100 or $200,000. Well, if your insurance is only 60, the attorney's not going to stop there.
Especially if you have personal assets.
Right, they're going to go after personal assets, or a home is a big thing.
Yeah. They're going to see what you own, and they're going to go after it because they're hungry.
That's true, and because that's the way we're in this society. We sue each other for everything you can imagine, and whether it's even a valid claim, the suits happen.
Frivolous lawsuits left and right.
That's a great topic.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
So the thing with insurance that I've been finding is it's like people they buy car insurance, they buy motorcycle insurance, they buy house insurance, and they buy personal property insurance, and then it's not all together under one roof, and nobody goes and checks to see whether everything all meets the criteria. So like, for example, one of the things is there's an umbrella policy, and where, like, say you have your house worth $500,000, so you have a policy worth $500,000, and then you can buy this umbrella policy that covers everything but up to like another $1 million or $2 million. So if somebody has a car that's only worth, that has a $60,000 policy, you're going to get sued for a car accident, and they're going to end up going after your house. Mm-hmm. Because home insurance doesn't cover car accidents. It's only going to cover house problems, somebody breaking their neck on a trampoline or something like that.
And I learned that the hard way because I had a theft in my home, and they stole jewelry, and I wanted to make a claim. They said, nope.
But you had
covered the jewelry because you didn't itemize it. And I have an umbrella policy. I have extra fire. I spend so much money on homeowners. Like, you are kidding me? I've never had a claim, and you're not going to cover my jewelry?
Because you didn't itemize.
Right.
That's crazy.
Because you have to additionally insure jewelry.
Sure. Yeah. But wouldn't the person, but you would think that your agent would have kind of brought that up.
You would think.
You would think.
Well, shame on me for not educating myself.
That's
why this show's all about empowering our viewers. Empowering me at the same time. We're learning at the same time ways to protect ourselves, ways to have a better quality of life.
Have educated, street smart professional people out there wandering
around. We're going
to
educate everybody.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So
we hate those moments when you go, what? I didn't know that, or I shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Right.
No regrets in this life.
Well, interesting. Today is actually the 10-year anniversary of the Pines fires up in Julian. And one of the things is my family, my dad, actually we built this cabin for like 13 years. This big old huge cabin in the mountains. It burned down in 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And the whole issue is that I'm getting there, but the entire mountainside, all these homes, hundreds of homes burned, and most of the people found out that they were underinsured.
Yeah.
So the insurance companies went, sorry you lost your home, but you didn't have enough insurance.
To rebuild.
Yeah. Sorry about that. And what happened is you buy insurance, and if you don't check up on it, every time you get a renewal, you read the coverages and it's lower coverage, lower coverage, lower coverage. And so what ended up happening is most people up there did not rebuild because they said, okay, you lost your cabin, it was worth $300,000, we'll pay you $100,000 to rebuild it. So they just took the cash. That's why something like 60% of the places up there in Julian that burned down, they never rebuilt them. So a big thing with insurance, I think, is you're checking. So if we're talking about asset protection, asset protection after, when you're disabled or when you die with a living trust, asset protection with corporations or limited liability companies, and I think insurance is a big thing. Mm-hmm. And even going back to in corporations, a lot of people can benefit from that, and they still have insurance inside of a corporation. So we'd kind of talked on the break about sometimes you get professionals that have these wild ideas about here's how you should do this, here's how you should do that. I've had people that came into me and said, Gary, I need to talk to you about setting up a corporation. I've got a home and a rental home and then 2 different little apartment buildings, and I've got an attorney that wants to have an LLC or a corporation for every single thing that I own. And I looked at the numbers, and it didn't make a lot of sense. I thought, is it possible that out in the world there are people like professionals that want to do things because they make money doing it?
Yes, it's very possible.
It's just really huge, and it's unfortunate. I mean, even if it's somebody that advertises a lot or whatever, but I think it's just in the spirit of caution. I think as educated consumers, we should check people out and see what they're like, talk to more than one person, get opinions. But it's all about what's I think the advantage of a show like this is you're getting the word out to educate people, because we have to be self-educated a lot of times. You can't really just go out into the market and say, okay, I'm going to find somebody and they're going to tell me how I should have my rental, or should I have a corporation, or should I remain a sole proprietor. Because I think depending on what market the person's in and kind of what they're going to make off of it, they're going to give you advice based on what might benefit the professional, which is kind of a sad tale, but I think it's something we need to be aware of.
I like it.
Oh.
And you'll be back. This is an ongoing discussion, and we're going to decide, we're going to have our fictitious person, right?
Okay.
And we're going to decide
Love to do that.
they should have an LLC, S Corp, and we're going to just break it all down, what makes sense, or stay a sole proprietorship.
And that makes sense. And we can get more into the the tax aspects too, because you asked me about that. But sometimes so many things are driven by tax decisions that would probably be something we could talk about also.
I would like that.
Okay, very good.
Until next time, Gary.
Okay, thank you very much, Taylor. It's been a pleasure.